Hi James, my name is Shanna and I watched your video on why you think PE should not be in schools. I am currently a semester away from student teaching and becoming a physical education teacher, and the time and effort and the mountain of student loan debt that I have accumulated supports the fact that I very much love PE and want more of it in schools. It made me really sad to hear about how you haven't had great experiences with PE, and though I don't expect every student to love PE as much as I do, or for it to be their favorite subject, I hope that the feelings of disdain and absolute hate for it sort of diminish. I don't want anybody to hate PE. So I know that there are going to be things that we all like more than other things, and I think that we can account a lot of that to the amount of success that we've had in those areas. So take music, for example. I can assume that you have had a lot of success in music, and whereas I have not had any success with music ever. I don't have a music bone in my body, and if I were to take a music class, I don't know that I would enjoy it very much, and I probably wouldn't do very well. Whereas if you take a music class, I'm assuming that you probably enjoy it and you probably do pretty well. But if I were to take a music class at this point in my life in college, it would be a little bit presumptuous to assume that I deserve a 100 because I show up to class and I try my best. If I didn't learn how to read music or other important elements of the curriculum, and if I didn't show my teacher that I was learning through assessment, performance, and meeting the education standards, then I would definitely not earn a 100. And the same is true for PE. I think that because PE stands for physical education, and because a physical education curriculum is developed off of state and national education standards, that to earn a grade, you have to prove that you're learning something and meeting standards, and your teacher is going to have to assess you in a variety of ways using a bunch of tools, which might include written tests, which I know you voiced your displeasure about, but there might be some written elements to PE because it is the only subject that you have that's going to assess you on all three domains of learning. So the physical, the mental, the cognitive stuff, and then also on your behavior and your attitude and the affective stuff. And a huge part of that, obviously, is your skills in the physical and the psychomotor domain. But like I said, it might include written tests. I think that it can be frustrating sometimes because in PE it's a different setting than your other classes, whereas the students that really excel, the ones that you're classifying as athletic students, they have this opportunity to showcase their skills in an open forum. So they get to bounce around and kind of show everybody how well they can perform a skill. Whereas the students who are kind of struggling with the skills, they also have the opportunity to struggle in an open forum, and it's not like that in any of your other classes. So if you're really good at math, you don't have the opportunity to get up in front of everybody every day and show how good you are at math. And the students who are struggling a little bit with math don't have to get up in front of everyone and struggle with math in front of everyone. So I can see how that would be frustrating to have to sort of learn skills in that environment, but that is unique to PE, and that's one of the things that your teacher should take into account and make sure that it's a safe environment for you to feel like you can struggle openly and not be alone, because you won't be. Likewise, in these subjects like math and English, there are students who are naturally better at math or English, and if they excel in the subject, it isn't unfair. It's just the way it is. So students are better at math and they don't have to try as hard And the same goes for PE. Some things are easier for athletic students or students who have experience in the units that you're learning, and it's not really unfair. It's just the way it is. Same with math, English, science, all of your other classes. There's going to be kids who have to work a little bit harder and kids who don't have to work hard at all. And there's those people who are good at everything and they seem to effortlessly excel in everything. But most of us have to try a little bit harder in certain areas. And I really value and respect how you value school. And you said that grades were important to you and school is important to you. And as a future teacher, I have to say that PE is a part of it. And being a well-rounded student includes working hard in PE and learning the skills, and even if it's a little bit more challenging for you than your other subjects. So you also mentioned that there are students out there that treat PE like the Olympics, and that can be annoying or intimidating. And I have to say in life that there are people that just have a competitive drive and a competitive nature, and there are students who are people who just really don't. And the great thing about the activities that you learn in PE is that you can participate in them at different levels. It's not just you're not learning basketball skills to play in the Olympics or the NBA or even in a competitive Gold Crown basketball league. You're learning these skills so that you can play at any level you want. So recreationally, you don't have to play with a competitive drive. You can play for the great benefits that playing basketball gives you, and or ultimate frisbee or all these other activities that you mentioned and that you're learning in PE. So when a student who is acting like it's the Olympics and they're breathing hard and panting at the end of the class, the thing that happens to them is they're receiving all of these benefits that exercise gives your body and your brain. And as they go on to their next class, their brain is firing and more ready to learn than a student who didn't just participate in exercise, or on the days that they don't participate in PE, their brain is more apt and more ready to learn than if they're not participating in exercise. So you also have the opportunity, if you're in PE, to reap the benefits of exercise. And even if you're participating in a less competitive way, you still have that opportunity to reap the benefits and to venture to your next class fired up and ready to learn. Now, in doing so, our body has, this great way of responding to exercise where you get a little sweaty and you start breathing a little hard and you get those rosy cheeks, and then you have to go to your next class, which you displayed some discomfort with. And the thing is that is why, along with safety reasons and along with performance reasons, it's necessary to require that we change out in PE. And the thing is that if we were to grade you on your ability to come prepared with your change of clothes and to change your clothes, it just wouldn't be appropriate. Now, imagine that you're taking a biology lab and every day you brought your safety goggles, your safety glasses, I guess they're not goggles, and your lab coat and your pencil and your beaker or whatever it is that you needed to bring to lab every day. Every day you brought it and every day you put on your lab coat. Now, you wouldn't expect to get an A in lab simply because you put on your lab coat and your safety glasses and you brought your pencil. So the same is true for PE. We can't really grade on your ability to bring your clothes and change your clothes, or even just showing up. That wouldn't happen in any of your other classes. And because you're in school and because PE is taught in school and your teachers are qualified PE teachers, I hope, that we can't simply grade you on the things that you wanted to be graded on. Now, I can relate to you when you said that you wish you could play more games, because I think they're so fun and I wish that I could just play sports and activities and games all the time. However, like I said, because it's a class, there has to be an element of learning. And when we're developing skills and when we're learning concepts, strategies, tactics, all of these things that go into games and sports, you have to spend some time practicing and learning those things before you can successfully participate in the end result and the final hoorah of participating in the game. So when your teacher is spending a lot of time on the skill development, it might be because through assessment and through observation, he or she is noticing that there are kids who aren't quite ready to move to that level, and so they have to spend a little more time on skill development. And hopefully they're providing opportunities for students of all abilities and skill levels to kind of work at their pace. And I think that people involved in the PE world genuinely, truly are trying to be helpful in the area of our future health. I hope that people that are in this profession really do want to create a healthier future. And I could sit here and recite stat after stat about the health crisis that is in our nation right now. It's really, it's really something that isn't talked about enough, if you ask me, and it's probably something that you're aware of. And so your PE teacher has this opportunity to prepare you guys to be active movers in whatever activities you choose, whether that's basketball, ultimate frisbee, or whatever. So I think they have to provide you with opportunities to participate in a variety of activities. Okay. So there were some other things that you mentioned that I wanted to touch on. Oh, when you said that you shouldn't be graded on something that your PE teacher couldn't do themselves, I think that you had a very valid point. If your PE teacher isn't sort of practicing what they preach, and health and physical activity isn't something that they value, it's really hard to take their class seriously. So I hope that physical education teachers show some sort of value for physical activity. That being said, I hope that you're never graded on your level of fitness. You said that you would get a 0 for running laps around a track, and unless there was some sort of rubric in some way that you were supposed to be running in your form or something developed in that way, I don't know why you would get any sort of grade for running around a track on your fitness level or ability to do so in a certain amount of time. And likewise, I don't think that your physical education teacher should be judged on the way they look, because you can't really judge someone's fitness level based on the way that they look. And I encourage you to challenge them to participate and to take a few laps around the gym, and maybe they kind of need that push from you. And like I said, I do think that someone at the lead of a physical education class should have some sort of value on physical activity and their own health. And the skills and concepts you learn in PE can directly impact your overall health in your future. And that is the ultimate goal. We want to make sure that no matter what you decide to do as a future professional, and you're pretty sure you're not going to get a scholarship in ultimate frisbee, which I don't think that your PE teacher is trying to groom a bunch of professional ultimate frisbee players. I think what they're trying to do is teach fundamental skills in movement and try to provide all of the students with opportunities to engage in a lot of different activities so that you can find the one that you like. And after school, and when you're done with school and you're an adult, then you can take what you've learned, the skills, the concepts, the strategies, and the importance of physical activity on your life and your health, and apply it. And so I hope that instead of resisting PE, you embrace it. The benefits of PE are significant and you shouldn't miss out on them. You'll still look cute with a little glow, and your brain will be better tuned into your other classes. And the truth is, you mentioned that you would be really tired and sweaty and if you tried really hard in PE, but actually it will give you more energy throughout the day, throughout the week, and as you start becoming more able to engage in physical activity and you have the opportunity to exercise daily, the benefits are just way more than the discomfort or the intimidation or the kind of dislike that you have developed for the class. I think that the benefits really outweigh that discomfort, and I really hope that you can find a way to see it that way also, and sort of realize that PE isn't recess. Like, I hate when I say like, sorry, but when you were a kid and you had the opportunity to play free and go outside and play or have recess, you ran around and you did those things. But if we were to just get you in a gymnasium or out on a soccer field and just said, okay, play, that would have no element of education in it, and that would be recess instead of physical education. So that is why all of the things that you rattled off that sort of irritate you about PE is why it's important to include them, because it is about learning, and it is about assessing your learning, and it is about meeting standards, and it's not just playtime. I need to wrap this up. So, like I said, I haven't had any sort of success with music at all, but that doesn't stop me from singing my heart out in the car. And so I hope that just because things might be a little bit more challenging and uncomfortable for you in PE, it doesn't stop you from taking what you're learning and applying it to your future. And I hope that you find something that you can find joy and success in through physical education.